What is the weight of a secret? For most of us, it's a whisper, a private memory. But for one man, a secret had the power to redefine human history. This isn't just a story about strange debris in the New Mexico desert. This is the story of a decorated war hero, an intelligence officer trusted with the nation's most powerful secrets, who was forced to carry a truth so heavy, it would take him more than 30 years to share it with the world. This is the story of Major Jesse Marcel, Roswell's true witness. July 1947. The world is rebuilding from the ashes of a global war. America is confident, powerful, and at the Roswell Army Airfield in New Mexico, Major Jesse Marcel is the intelligence officer for the 509th Bomb Group, the most elite military unit on the planet. These are the men who dropped the atomic bombs, the very tip of America's spear. Marcel himself is a decorated flyer, a man known for his calm demeanor, sharp eye, and unwavering integrity. His job is to analyze intelligence, to separate fact from fiction. He deals with wreckage, with enemy technology, with secrets. It's a job he's good at. On the evening of July 7th, that job would take a turn into the uncharted. A call comes in from the local sheriff. A rancher named Mac Brazel, about 75 miles northwest of Roswell, has found something unusual. After a powerful thunderstorm a few nights prior, his sheep pastures are littered with a field of bizarre debris unlike anything he's ever seen. This isn't a simple downed weather balloon. Brazel is holding a piece of it in his hand, describing it over the phone. The base commander, Colonel Blanchard, turns to his best man. He orders Major Marcel to investigate personally. It's a direct order. Go out there and see what this is. Marcel, accompanied by a counterintelligence corps officer, makes the long, dusty drive to the ranch. What he finds is not a single crash site, but a vast field of wreckage stretching hundreds of yards. In his own words, years later, he would describe the eerie silence of the scene. There was no crater, no sign of a large impact. Just pieces. But these pieces were extraordinary. Small metallic I-beams, no thicker than a pencil, were etched with strange characters. Marcel, a man who had seen technology from all over the world, described them as resembling Egyptian hieroglyphs, but they were symbols he had never encountered. He picks up a piece of a foil-like material. It's incredibly light, thinner than the foil in a pack of cigarettes. He crumples it in his fist. And then, the impossible happens. It unfolds itself, smoothing out perfectly flat, with no creases, no wrinkles. It had memory. In his 1979 interview, Marcel was clear. It would not burn. That stuff weighs nothing. It's so thin. It wasn't any thicker than the tinfoil in a pack of cigarettes. So I tried to bend the stuff. It wouldn't bend. We even tried to make a dent in it with a 16-pound sledgehammer, and there was still no dent in it. Convinced he was holding something not of this earth, Marcel and his colleague fill their staff car with as much of the material as they can carry. The secret was now in his hands. Back at the base, the excitement is palpable. Marcel shows the material to his commander, Colonel Blanchard. They lay it out on the floor. Generals are briefed. The base's public information officer is instructed to issue a press release. And on July 8, 1947, newspapers around the world run a stunning headline: RAAF Captures Flying Saucer on Ranch in Roswell region. For a few hours, the world holds its breath. The 509th Bomb Group, the most credible military force in the world, has officially announced the recovery of a crashed flying disc. The secret is out, or so it seemed. The phone lines from Washington, D.C. to Roswell light up. The excitement quickly turns to panic. Marcel is ordered to load the debris onto a plane and fly it immediately to Fort Worth, Texas, to show it to General Roger Ramey, the head of the 8th Air Force. But when Marcel arrives, something is wrong. He's told to leave the real debris in one office and follow the general into another for a press conference. When he enters the map room, the floor is covered with something else. It's a flimsy, torn-up weather balloon with its radar target. General Ramey tells the press that Marcel and his men had made a mistake. They'd simply found a weather device. Then came the photograph that would seal the official story for decades. The press photographers asked Major Marcel to pose with the real debris. You've probably seen the picture. A decorated intelligence officer, kneeling on the floor, holding up the flimsy remains of a weather balloon. But look closer at his face. Look into his eyes. That is not the face of a man who made a simple mistake. It's the face of a man being forced to participate in a lie. He's holding garbage, and he knows it. The strange, indestructible, hieroglyph-covered material he pulled from the desert floor is gone, replaced by rubber and sticks. He was ordered to play his part, and like a good soldier, he did. The secret was buried. For over 30 years, Jesse Marcel remained silent. He continued his military career, retiring honorably. The Roswell incident faded into folklore, a joke for most. But Marcel never forgot. He had held the evidence in his hands. He had shown it to his wife and young son at their kitchen table before turning it over to the base, a small act of wonder that would later corroborate his story. His son, Jesse Marcel Jr., would remember handling the strange, weightless I-beams for the rest of his life. In the late 1970s, nuclear physicist and researcher Stanton Friedman tracked down the retired Major Marcel. Old and in failing health, Marcel decided the time for silence was over. He had nothing left to lose. He gave a series of detailed, videotaped interviews, recounting every detail of his experience. His story never wavered. He described the unearthly materials, the strange symbols, the pressure from his superiors, and the blatant switch in General Ramey's office. He was adamant. What he found in that field was, in his expert opinion, not of this world. Jesse Marcel passed away in 1986, holding to his story until the very end. So we are left with a simple, profound question. Who do you believe? The official explanation, which changed from flying disc to weather balloon in less than 24 hours. Or do you believe the decorated intelligence officer of America's most elite military unit? A man who had everything to lose by telling his story and nothing to gain but the peace of setting a world-changing record straight. His testimony forces us to wonder, what other secrets, buried in the desert sands and official reports, are waiting for their own true witness?